That is good banter.
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Good Banter with Tom Siegert and Evan Hocking. And we are in the car and we have just gone over one horrific roadkill. Did you see that one?
That was that a kangaroo?
I know, she wasn't looking good.
Nah, very not
It's a
great
mess.
at all.
No, you don't like to see that on the highway.
Never.
Anyway, we are on our way home from a gig that we discussed on last week's episode. We're on the way to the gig, and this week's episode we are
On the way back.
On the way back, but we didn't stay there for a week.
No.
We
Why just stay there for a week in Eldorado?
Eldorado.
It was
great
good, though.
little town. Yeah, great little town. Great pub. Smallest pub in Victoria.
Well, the smallest pub in the world, you said at one stage.
Said, yeah, but the locals corrected me quick sticks. And yeah, smallest pub in Victoria, they made the interesting decision to put a giant fucking pool table in the middle of it. So you actually, there's only about 20% of the pub that you can actually walk around because most of it's taken up by the pool table. Interesting decision by Brad.
Brad, yeah, well, you played footy with him, didn't you?
No, it's not Brad.
Kelly
It's not
and
Brad.
Dan? No, Dean.
Oh, God.
Drew.
Drew.
Kelly and Drew. Well,
Kelly
that
and
was
Drew.
a week ago, remember?
That was a week ago, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a good gig. Probably 130 people in the beer garden.
Yes.
It was really nice feeling. Only 300 people in the town. So although 130, 140 might not be great numbers percentage-wise,
That's
to get nearly half the town there, it's a great effort. You get those sort of percentages in a larger city, you're
well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, people said we couldn't sell out the smallest pub in Australia or Victoria, but we fucking did it. So
certainly proved them wrong. But the
Definitely
food was
did.
good. They got in some food. They got the lady there with the sausage rolls.
And didn't she know how to blow her own trumpet? I'll give you the tip.
Yeah,
Those sausage rolls were good, but she knew how to let everyone know that her sausage rolls are award-winning.
Yeah, they were award-winning. She certainly brought that up a few times. There was some guy turned up in a trailer with a wood fire pizza, which I did mention quite controversially that I thought bit of a
wank.
A bit. One of the big
Overhyped?
Overhyped is the wood fire pizza. I think it just fucking dries out the pizza, gives it a sort of smoky, shitty sort of taste.
So you're just a Domino's man?
Not Domino's, but yeah, send it through the machine. Send it through the Domino's type machine, but not the wood fire pizza. I just don't think it's any good. Did I ever tell you my first ever job was at Pinky? My first job was at Pizza Haven, but my second job was at Pinky's Pizza Ribs on the Run.
So were you poached by Pinky's, or
I lost my job
you got the arse at...
Lost my job at Pizza Haven.
Pizza Haven, that was that in competition to like a Pizza Hut?
No, they weren't a restaurant.
Work?
It was all takeaway on Dean Street, Albury there. But I had very bad phone manner. And I was on the phone.
You weren't a people person, yeah?
No, it's just a bit. I don't know, but
fucking, what do you want?
They let me go.
Supreme. I don't cut up. I don't want any inch. I want half. Yeah, fuck you and your half. Is that what you liked?
I don't know. They didn't feel I was. I don't know how they knew, but they didn't feel I was very good on the phones, which was pretty disappointing for a 15-year-old to get the sack. I remember my folks were pretty pissed off at the guys.
Well, I mean, they would hire anyone at those joints, and to get the arse at your first job at 15
it wasn't great.
It's sort of basically shaped your life.
It could have, but I bounced back. But then I got my job at Pinky's, which was a couple of funny stories about Pinky's. I used to work.
Was that with the pig logo?
That was the pig. So
that got down to Melbourne as well.
Their delivery car. They were big in your Bendigos and your Ballarats and your Sheppartons.
Did they have a pig on the roof?
Pig on the delivery car. Yeah.
I mean, that's
But
that's great.
it wasn't just the pizzas. They actually had the ribs that used to cook up on the barbecue. And
Great.
Yeah, it was mostly bones you'd get delivered, but sometimes there was a bit of meat hanging there with a bit of paste. But a couple of funny stories from the Pinky's pizza days. I remember because I used to, sometimes on a Saturday night from about 11 till about 1, I used to hold fort, and I used to be there by myself.
Yep.
As a, God, I thought it would only been 17, and just hold, weren't getting many fuck all customers, but I just you just needed someone around, if one or two people would pop in, you'd make the pizza, it'd come out, collect the money. And
what was your specialty pizza-wise? What were you making?
Oh, I still love the, what I used to do is get a garlic bread, open it up, and in the slots, I used to jam cheese and
So you
and
invented
ham.
cheesy garlic bread. Couldn't we say that?
I think we can safely say I invented cheesy
Didn't
garlic.
patent it.
I used to put ham in there as well.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a good dish. But anyway, one night had a friend pop in, so it was just me and him, and he and I don't know what we were thinking. He was fairly new. He was a bit of a pot smoker, and and so we
Good
thought,
working in a pizza shop.
Yeah, so we thought, or he had the idea of sprinkling his marijuana on the pizza, and I'd send
Two
it through
birds, one stone.
Yeah, while stoned, and then
Flintstone.
he sent it through. Oh, so I just he ordered normal sort of pizza, say your supreme, and I sprinkled his gram of marijuana on the pizza. The whole gram.
Jesus.
And sent it through the sort of like oregano sort of
Yeah,
vibe, and then sent it through the pizza. What could go wrong?
Went through the whole fucking shop.
Yeah, the smell was it just sounded like 100 little stoners had been smoking bongs in Pinky's Pizza. I remember I had all the fans going. It was winter, but I had all the doors open, trying to air this shit out. But got away with it. And but I don't think it did anything. I don't think it like it.
Well, the old pot smoke though, you can smell a joint from 10 k's away, can't you?
Yeah.
So it going through the whole. Was that Pinky's?
Pinky's, yeah,
Through
really,
Pinky's.
really got the scent.
Christ.
Really got the scent going. And, and the other story. So we'd make up all this dough, and I don't know. I don't know what it was. Sort of like a self-raising sort of shit in it.
Flour.
I guess sort of, but it was agent, yeah, but self-raising flour on steroids. It was, and what you'd have to do, this shit, and I don't know the science behind it, but it would just continue to grow and mutate.
Oh, it's like my brother bakes bread, and it's almost like it just breathes. It's like Predator or Alien or something.
Yeah,
it just grows and
So if there was stuff you didn't use, you had to cook it. Like sometimes we just chuck big wads we weren't going to use through the pizza oven just to cook it, so to stop mutating.
What's it called? It's called fuck. I know what it's called. It's called
growing.
It'll come to me. It'll come to me.
But anyway, one night I miscalculated, as I often did, and I cooked up just a massive batch before it was knock off. And I thought, fuck. And I remember I wanted to go out. I was going out afterwards, and I was like, it's going to take me ages to break it up, chuck it through the oven. Fuck it, I'll just leave it in the cool room, and I was on the next day, and I'll just deal with it next day. And I came back. It was like
the cool room walls have exploded.
It was like fucking Jabba the Hutt was in the
the Michelin Man.
It was this thing. It hadn't stopped growing. It was at least 50 times the size.
Fuck, what is that thing called? Keep going.
I don't know. It was like at least 50 times the size of what I left that night. It was unbelievable stuff. It was like it was alive.
Yes, yeah, it was. It was. I know what that's called, but I can't think of it right now. But it's probably because after I jumped on stage tonight, so I was on the mids. I was going all right, and then I had a few heavies and had a few travellers, and
you had
I got a bit excited.
Had a few cans because they were good. Not everywhere does it, but the gig tonight, first thing they said, whatever you want from the bar, knock yourself out, which is good of them.
Some of them get a bit tight, don't they? They make you pay for your drinks, and you're like, come on, get fair income.
But no, these guys were lovely. Although I had to drive, I did have a couple of mids. They gave me a free roast lamb roll, good country style roast lamb roll. Geez, that's one thing when you don't drink. Geez, you eat some shit.
Yeah, we were saying on the way up, we sort of we've missed these road trips, but the diet,
the food.
The diet. I mean, you're not really bringing up
so this is
nuts and bloody fruit
so
on a road trip.
7 o'clock tonight. It's now 1:31 a.m. We've eaten 2 big sausage rolls.
Yes,
with chutney.
The first one had a bloody beautiful chutney.
I've had 2 big sausage rolls.
Oh, big.
Roast lamb roll.
Big.
Stopped at Macca's.
Big.
I had a double quarter pounder.
That was big.
Had a large vanilla thick shake, which was
big.
Geez, that quarter pounder was rank.
Did we say they are just... I always thought Macca's was not too big, but now you just know. You like as soon as you have Macca's, you just go, I'm either going to shit my pants or I'm just going to feel like shit. You just know, you can see the oil just dripping off it.
But there's no options on the highway. There's there's that Oliver's, but you got to.
But that's like $35.
Refinance the house,
and they give you beans for $35. So I don't think I can do it.
Had the double quarter pounder, which was just shit. I regretted it as I was ordering it. I was thinking, this is shit.
Yeah,
I'm better than this. The large thick shake. And then we just pulled over and had got like that crackle. Like a packet
pork
of pork crackling.
In the bloody...
so I just feel... I wake up tomorrow, might as well have got on the beers. I'm going to feel like shit. Yeah, not much good in the farm. Although the chicken, at the age of 42, it's taken a long time, but I've got on the KFC nuggets. Did you get into those?
Okay, so no. I know McDonald's do the nuggets, but I don't know if there's much chicken in those.
Shit, they are. They're dry. They've got.
The only thing with KFC is the popcorn chicken.
No.
That's shit.
This is chicken nuggets. They're tender. They're moist. They've got great dipping sauces.
Okay.
I don't reckon I'll ever go a 3-piece feed again, or. I reckon I'm
a zinger.
That's only because you haven't
combo.
That's only because you haven't had the nuggets. The fucking
all right. Maybe we'll get on the nuggets.
On
the nuggies.
He's a good man.
Yeah.
He's a good man, the Colonel. So so we're talking the gig and the debrief.
Outdoor gig. So a lot of the time you never know, because when we left Melbourne, it was a little overcast and it was a bit chilly. But we got up to Eldorado and, it was almost breakout, the bloody sunscreen. And
the sun had a bit of kick and it was
beautiful.
And the locals turned up in their droves and it was just a good, very appreciative country folks because they wouldn't get a lot of entertainment at the Eldorado pub.
Not at all.
Absolutely fuck all,
Not at all.
I imagine. But, in the end it was a good gig. Nelson Twins did it with the Nelson Twins.
And don't they, I love the boys, but don't they have a fucking cushy life? I mean, we left at 2:30. You and me, Tommy, just driving up the highway. We thought 3 hours up to Eldorado. We've got the gear in the back, and we turned up at 5:30
to set up sound,
lighting, and the old Nelson. I think because they've been on Australia's Got Talent and done a bit of TV, a few shitty things that never really took off. I think they can just rock up and bully us, Tom.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
They took the cushy bloody middle spot.
The cushy middle spot when everyone's warmed up but not too pissed.
I mean, Evo just MCing, just comes out to a cold crowd, does his own intro.
But you did very well.
Thanks, mate.
No, it was good. It was a good night. Everyone was.
It was good.
Everyone was happy, and they said they'll have comedy again, which is good. So we're talking. What do you want to run through some good and bad gigs, or have we got time?
We can do that. Before we do that, we'll quickly do this because once again, this episode, and we love these guys. The episode of the pod is sponsored by Hatch Attire, Tom.
Hatchy
Malacca. Hatch Attire offers a range of high-quality clothing, owned and designed, as you know it, from Adelaide, Australia. Everything good comes out of Adelaide. Their products include long sleeve Oxford shirts, 5-panel hats,
Five.
Not 4, not 7, 5 or 6. Crew neck sweaters. These guys, they're all about, you know what they're about. Quality, community and collaboration. The 25 C's, as you've said before, Tom. So I'd love to partner up with other small business and like-minded people, such as the Good Banter podcast. Now check out their Instagram at Hatch Attire. That's Hatch, H-A-T-C-H, Attire, for more details on their product range. 2020 was a prick of a year for everyone and many small businesses. So stay in touch with their socials. Get your hands on the good gear because there's plenty of it to go around. And you know, Tommy, you know.
Oh, do I? I could have done with a hatch.
The great deal.
Oh, yeah, 20% off, which is remarkable. I don't know how they're surviving, giving away 20% like that. Oh, Hatch. I could have done with a Hatch jumping tonight. Got a bit cold.
You didn't bring yours. I bought mine.
Ah, you're a wise man. Hatch.
Yeah. So if you want 20% off, just type in the promo code BANTER, BANTER, and you'll get 20% off all their gear. Get around these boys because they get around us, and they're just great. I love the Hatch.
They're good crew.
I love the Hatch.
Good crew.
Get around them. But, you're talking shit gigs, Tom.
Shit gigs, and tonight wasn't a shit gig, but
no, was not.
We do a lot of gigs. You do some good gigs. You do some bad gigs. Did what time were we at with the?
We're at 17 minutes, mate. So
17 minutes.
We're laughing.
I've got time to get into my
mate, tell us your shit gig.
All right. So
we've got time.
So plenty of shit gigs, and but this one, because people, when you tell people you do a bit of stand-up comedy, people are fascinated by the shit gigs. I guess no one really wants to hear.
No one cares if
no
you
one
smash
cares
it.
about the good gigs.
Everyone wants to hear you just eating a dick on stage.
Which we have plenty of times, but there was one in particular that springs to mind, and I've told this story on a few different other podcasts, is so I'll tell you the backstory. I was doing a gig over in Collingwood, just your typical run-of-the-mill, midweek, open mic kind of gig. Had a reasonably good gig, and this guy came up to me and said, mate, I want to get you to perform at my club.
Yeah.
And I was like, fantastic.
You should do it.
Yeah, you should do it. Probably back then I wasn't getting a lot of money for gigs. He said, I'll pay you. I said, fantastic. He said, so I'll give you $400.
Oh,
and I said, mate,
back then.
How good's that?
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that was not the most I'd ever got back then, but we're pretty close to it. For me, it was cash.
Oh, God.
Cash.
Yeah.
Didn't have to declare
Johnny
it.
Cash.
So I've said, okay, what's the deal? And he said, okay, so what I do is I own over in Brayside, it was the other side of Melbourne to where we were, I own a male swingers club.
Okay.
I said, okay.
I'm listening.
He's talking
my
language. I like where he's going here. So he said, basically what it is, it's a gay club, and guys go along, and they have, usually it's dance type nights. He wants to introduce a bit of comedy. He goes, it'll be great. Everyone there will be gay, so I'll be performing on a stage. It's a great venue, great sound. He reckons we'll be able to pack 100, 150 into this room.
Yep.
There's tables and chairs. It's a great setup. There's little cubicles.
If you want to get a
side,
hand job.
So if two people are, laughing away
and just want to...
And hit it off, they can duck off to one of the cubicles and have a
comedy,
quick little,
there's nothing more that brings the gay community together than Tom Siegert telling jokes, I reckon. I mean, even tonight, I was standing there with the Nelson twins, just batting each of them, each one of them off. I was downhill skiing with the boys.
So,
as you were ripping out your gold.
So two people are hitting it off. They can duck off to one of the cubicles, quickly have sex. He said most of the crowd will be nude. I said, okay.
Fuck, I'll do it for 200.
Yeah. I said, this sounds like a beauty. So, but I did say, I said, is it okay? And I started to think, mate.
Okay.
Actually, I said to him, I actually don't think, I said, do you know I'm not gay? And he said, oh, yeah, no, you're gay. And he was really funny. He's like, no, these bloody poofs have got to work out that it's, there's more to life than just being gay. They'll love your humour, you're quirky, rah. And I said, all right, can I bring a mate of mine and we split the money? And he said, fantastic. So I had to do 20 minutes.
Yep.
So he said, do 10 minutes each, happy days. So
Perfect.
I've rung
200 each.
So I've rung my mate Troy Kinney.
Yep.
Who is possibly the blokiest, ungayest person on the
Troy
planet.
doesn't strike me as a bloke who would really
appeal.
Maybe not fit in there. I don't know.
No, probably
really
not
maybe
Troy's,
be disgusted.
Troy's cup of tea, but look, he's agreed to come along. We're all excited on the way out to the gig, thinking, "Oh, what's it going to be like? I've never been to we'll going home with $200 each. What's his place going to be like? What is it? Anyway, so we've turned up at it's sort of an industrial area in Brayside.
Yeah.
And it's behind this fence. You've sort of had to knock on the door. They've let you in, and this place.
Are there any glory holes?
There were glory holes. So we've walked in. I remember the smell of chlorine. It's something
something that would kill.
Yeah, it was a real strong scent of like cleaning.
Okay.
I think they had to clean this place a lot. And
so this was before COVID.
This is well before COVID.
Disinfect.
Yeah. So anyway, we've gone in. The guys met us. The bloke that I met in Collingwood. He's like, "Hey boys, I'll give you the tour." And we've gone to the bar. And the bar was just full on. It was actually two bars divided by a thin wall, and the wall had, lo and behold, glory holes. So you just stick your
so you be at the bar,
stick your penis. You just be at the bar and a penis
and a cock will hit you in the ear.
It was like that. What's that? What's that game you get at Time Zone? Where
whack-a-mole. Whack-a-mole. It's like whack-a-cock.
Like whack-a-cock, and they'd keep popping out, and you'd have to keep banging in with a hammer.
Poof.
And
with it, some uncircumcised, some circumcised.
I didn't actually see any penises pop through. Thank God. But anyway, and there were all these computers around, and there were just a lot of sort of old men watching just very hard male porn on these videos, and there was sort of creepy music. And
was the carpet sticky? Was it like one of those tiles?
Yeah,
okay,
makes them mop it down. I don't know, but and then he's taken us out to the main room where we're going to be performing, and he said we'll get he was hoping for 100, 150, and he goes, this is it. Look, numbers are down. They're lower than what we expect, and he only had about 12 people that were going to come and see the show. But he said, well, show goes on.
Yeah, that's a show.
And he took us around. There were spas and there were saunas and there were big plasmas showing.
Okay,
porn. It was a bit of a theme.
Were you getting aroused at any stage here?
No. We're in.
How was Troy taking it?
Not well. We were. I think we'd gone into probably nearly a state of shock, just disbelief. The gig was actually the furthest thing from our mind, and then he goes, all right, so we may as well jump up, and then it was like, oh my God, we've got to do this gig. And
so what was it like a strip club where there's poles?
Yeah, it was sort of that sort of vibe with the flashing lights and the tile floors, and it was not a very comedy friendly setup. And so probably made 8 to 12 people in the room, big room that could probably hold 200.
And then
they were naked.
Nude.
And
good rigs or?
I wasn't really checking the rigs out.
Okay.
Yeah, and absolutely, and you know when
Did you open?
I opened. Yeah.
Okay. And what was your first gag?
I can't remember, but I remember it was it didn't go well. They weren't really into us. They didn't go there to watch comedy. So yeah, I pardon the pun, I copped it up the arse, and as brought on Troy copped it. And they took us as we were leaving. So we just got nothing. It was horrific. And the guy came up and goes, and he was like, who gives a fuck, boy? He was just all over the shop. He was
he would have been on all kinds of.
Mate, he would have had some stories. This bloke. He was actually very interesting guy. He actually ran a lot of Melbourne's big swingers parties.
Yep.
Yeah, so he was telling us all about the Melbourne swingers scene and how he makes really good money, and he gets couples in there, and it's like, say, $50 for a couple, but he makes his money by he sells the $1,000 or $2,000 gold tickets to just random blokes without a partner can buy the $1,000.
Well, if you're a single bloke, I mean, that is
jackpot.
That's
it's a
money
lot of
well
money,
spent.
But yeah, I guess so.
Like,
so that's where he'd make the money, and he'd So he was telling us all about that, and then he goes, as we were leaving, he goes, I'd love to show you boys upstairs, but to be honest, I don't. Judging by the way you handled this, the rest of the joint, I don't think you'd go too well upstairs. And we just said, all right, I don't want to go up there, but just out of curiosity, what's upstairs? And he said that's where, and he was explaining it. They had these like rubber bands where guys just hang.
Oh, is it like a D&M or
so guys just sort of
punishment
hang,
kind of thing?
Yeah, they just hang from the roof and just sort of bounce around in the nudie.
So like a jumping, like, you know how little babies get like a jumping jack kind of thing, where they jump up and down. It's sort of like that for
all those
adults.
Is it the Olympics or the circus where those people just spin around on that?
Yeah.
Sort of halfway between the baby bouncer and the
baby bouncer,
the circus
and the
sort of like, ribbon. Is it a ribbon?
What is it? The ribbon. Well, there's the ribbon, and then they've got the balls. Oh, I'm sure there were balls there.
We're getting off track. The Olympics.
We're trying to justify hanging. Yeah, I was sort of. I wouldn't mind googling, seeing what that's all about.
So normally, as you know, like after our gig today, you jump in the car and you got a bit of adrenaline, and should have done this, should have done that. Wish I'd have started with this.
Did you do your 10 minutes?
I don't think so, but no one was pulling us up on time.
No.
Yeah, but the car home, there was no banter, no dissecting what had just happened. It was just two hands on the steering wheel, silence all the way home.
And probably wouldn't have been any.
We were in a pretty bad place, and we were a fair bit younger, like probably be a bit older now to sort of deal with it all. But it was a shock.
Well,
we were probably fairly fresh out of the country,
and you're still pretty open-minded, but you sort of just realise that some people live their lives a little differently.
Well, an interesting thing was he said over 50% of the people that go there are happily married men that have this secret life.
Yeah,
and that was a bit of an eye-opener. And there were these, so it was discreet rear parking, and there was sort of a couple of tradies sort of pulled in, and they'd go in with their head down, and
their hard hats on, and
it was an interesting scene that I didn't really each to their own. I guess.
He obviously paid you.
He paid us,
made the money, and you've got a story.
Got a story to tell, and got lifetime memories.
Well, there you go.
Lifetime memories. So that's definitely not the worst gig I've ever done, but
probably
I reckon
a bit bizarre.
The weirdest. Yeah, definitely the weirdest.
I reckon that's sort of hard to top there.
Yeah.
Tom, I mean, I've done some shit gigs, but never really anything that full on.
It was something else. But still, it's still there. It's still there to this day. I googled it. I was telling the story to a couple of guys at work, and we googled it, and it's still there. So if you're,
he's obviously doing good business.
Yeah. If you,
I don't know if the comedy's running that great.
No, it was. I think the comedy, it was a bit of a one-off. Still doing other activities there, no doubt.
Yeah, that's it. Well,
the boys.
What I should do is because we met some absolutely rippers at the gig tonight. Well, maybe we'll get off that for a bit. Like I don't really have a story that's going to match that.
No, that's all right.
So, but you sold a few books tonight. Some of your suburban footballer books.
Yes.
Your Harry and his Magic Footy Tree books.
Yeah, the sales are going okay. I think when people have had a few beers, they willing to make a purchase. They're probably going to regret the next day, but I'll be
Well, you sold it as an adult and a kid's book, where I've read your suburban footballer book, and
wouldn't call it.
I'd probably say that it's two kids' books.
Well.
Harry, but no, very well done, because I've never written a book. But I just want a big shout out to Trina and Min from Chiltern. who were out there. They were having a good chat to us afterwards. And they bought a book off you. And also to Stampy and Cara, who they're from Wangaratta, and Katie from Kahuna, and Blair, who were out there today. So
yeah, lovely folk.
Lovely
quite
couple.
a few Chiltern people there because we weren't too far from Chiltern. Chiltern, of course, being Lappin country.
Yes, there's about 35 Lappins, isn't there?
All of them very good footballers.
Very good footballers. Yeah. So no, I think all in all, mate, that was a success.
Yeah, it was a great
A win.
It was a great night. We're heading home. It's going to be a late one. We're probably not going to hit Melbourne until 3 a.m. I've got to drop you off, drive home.
Yeah, you've really drawn the short straw.
I'll be 3:30 before I get home, and then kids sport at 9 a.m, which I'm looking forward to like a hole in lay head.
It'll be all right. Once the boys get up, you see their excited faces.
Yeah, they love actually playing soccer and not the Aussie rules, which is look, I say heartbreaking, but as long as they're happy,
as long as they're
getting out there and doing something, they're enjoying it. They're good on them. Soccer's it's not the end of the world.
No, definitely.
It's not far from it though.
Did you have anything else from the gig tonight?
No. I think it tried some newbies, new jokes.
Yeah. You did about 45 minutes there, Tommy. It was bloody great, mate. You're having some fun.
Just having some fun with the locals. Hung a bit of shit on.
Well, I guess when you drive 3 hours, you got to drive. That's 6 hours.
6 hour drive
plus the setup and all that. So this is going to be it's going to be over 12-hour turnaround. And we've spoken about that, where it's sort of bizarre, isn't it? Where you spend so much time on the road for not much time on stage.
No,
but,
people say, "Oh, you got paid that to do 30 minutes."
30 minutes.
That's an amazing hourly rate. But then you go, "Well, I did have to pack all the sound equipment in the car." But so I left my place at 2.
Yeah,
and I won't get home till 4.
So that's
a fucking terrible hourly rate.
That's a big day. I mean,
that's a big day anyway.
I mean, we've done 35 podcasts.
Yeah,
but also we've spent a bit of time in the car. But,
have we ever?
So that's good.
Anyway, there's another McDonald's. Fuck no. There's the Colonel. We should have held on.
We should have got some nuggies.
That quarter pound, that double quarter pounder was shit.
Yeah, I just went the cheeseburger because I knew if I went anything bigger, I'd have
diarrhea. So down on myself.
Have diarrhea, but
anyway,
that's it.
That's another ep in the can.
Thank you very much. Thank you to the McAvoy Tavern up there in Eldorado. Thanks for having us, and to Dale and Kelly. Thank you so much, and to the twins for doing their 25 minutes and fucking nothing else. Thanks a lot.
Sweet spot.
No, cheers for the gig, boys. Cheers for the gig. And get on the Good Banter podcast on Instagram, Twitter. Give it a like, a rating, a review. Tell your friends about it. Apologies if we were a bit... it is late at night, but thanks. We've had fun. I've had fun. You've had fun?
I've had fun. Let's see you later.
It's another one in the can.
Bye.
Good Banter.
Good banter.